So, here's how it all started. I wanted to see if I could turn this little setup into a proper sauna experience. And my first idea was to use a stainless steel box I had ordered from Amazon a while back. I thought, hey, it's metal, it should work, right? Well, not exactly. As soon as it started heating up, I noticed two things. First, it didn't really transfer much heat to the stones inside. And second, the box itself started warping from the heat. Not ideal. Still determined, I went back to the drawing board and remembered I had an old die-cast wok tucked away in the basement. It was thick and solid, maybe too solid. I set it up and gave it a go, but it took forever to heat up. What if I ditched the container idea altogether and just created a frame out of an old cooling rack or a barbecue grill? That way, I could place the sauna stones directly between the stove wall and the rack, allowing them to soak up more heat straight from the source. So I built it, and it worked surprisingly well. After about 3 hours, I managed to get the sauna up to 55 degrees Celsius. It might not sound like much, but it was enough to make me sweat once I stepped in. Progress. To keep things safe, I added a thermometer to the top of the exhaust pipe that leads to the roof. Since the pipe goes through a silicone feed-through, I want to make sure it doesn't get overheated. I keep an eye on the meter and only add more wood if it's below 250 degrees Celsius. I also mounted a temperature gauge directly on the stove to make sure it never goes above 600 degrees Celsius. Now, I'm thinking the next step might be upgrading to a bigger stove, something with more power to push the heat further and faster. This has been a fun experiment, and I've learned a ton just from trying different setups. If you've got any tips, ideas, or your own DIY sauna stories, drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear them.